Alright, hello and welcome to another Why Would You Use on the Phantasma. So, unfortunately, that original Phantasma video was made in far too much of a hurry, and I did not take the time to realize that this is not just one beam, because I was making the video in a hurry before I went to PAX West. Now I'm back, and of course I've read many a comment, and I can see that the Phantasma works like the Phage does. And also, to quickly address all the people in the comments that were like, it works like the Phage, how did you not know how the Phage works? I thought this was one beam. And also, motherfuckers trying to defend the Phage, y'all hilarious, I don't care that the Phage's status works this way, that weapon is a garbage show. Anyway, the Phantasma is actually fantastic. FBI, open up! When you actually realize that it has 5 beams and it will adhere to the shotgun status rules, and you alter the build very slightly to contain 3 dual stats. And it's actually very important that this only takes 3 dual stats, because it means if you don't have access to Shell Shock, which is the hardest of the dual stats to get, you can still put together a really good build for this weapon. So this is what I've chosen to go for. I still think there's a lot of potential to, instead of Blaze, use Seeking Fury, just because having punch through on a weapon like this is going to be really powerful. But for now, I've stuck with Blaze, mostly because the alt fire is affected a little bit negatively by Seeking Fury, as we went over in that other video. Also, this is a significantly less form build than this. You do not have to put this much in. So yeah, it's like very... it's not a huge change, but it makes a huge difference, as we're going to show. So yeah, the main thing that you want is just getting to 100% status before you add in your 2 multi-shot mods, and then that makes this weapon significantly better. So, let's show it off. Also, just like to go over it really quick, thank you for correcting me, everybody. Like, it's not, like, I'm not gonna be like a lot of people would, where it's like, oh no, I wasn't wrong. I was definitely wrong, and this weapon's definitely a lot better than I gave it credit for, obviously. Because I was building it incorrectly, because I was in too much of a hurry to make that video, and that's really unfortunate. And I probably should not have made that video, and just made the 2 other videos instead, on weapons that are either incredibly simple and very easy to review, like the Twin Gremlins, or, of course, the Atomos, which I know very well, and yeah, like doing refresher videos probably was the smarter choice than doing a new weapon that came out whenever I'm in a hurry to make them. But yeah, you know, mistakes are made, mistakes are fixed by this video. This weapon is absolutely incredible. Like, if it's not obvious, it kicks out a fuck ton of status, and absolutely obliterates armor. And, of course, its alt fire is still quite good. And we're going to show it off against some higher level enemies real quick, just so you can see the level of armor stripping and the level of damage. Probably just 100, though, that this thing can kick out. So first and foremost, like, the damage against these corrupted ancients, not amazing, as this thing is like heavy status, and the ancients are weak to corrosive, so you can see why they would be affected so negatively by it. But like the knockdowns and stuff that you're getting here are really good. The ability to get through this like level 100 armor is really strong, and of course getting the crowd control and knocking the enemies down, super solid. And then against enemies that are more just raw health and shields, you have a slightly worse time. But for an MR9 weapon to be doing this to like this level of enemy, that's really impressive. And of course the alt fire at this level is quite good once the stingers start going out, because they all have the status application as well. So you get quite a bit of corrosive procs on that, and you can eat through armor. Obviously this weapon is still an MR9 weapon, and it's not going to be like the super insane without buffs. But like buffs from Warframes, I mean, not like DE buffing it, but like using like Rhinos 3 or whatever. But it performs really well. So the main downside now is just that at higher levels like this, your ammo economy is a little poor, but that can be fixed up just by bringing carrier, and then you're a-okay for sure. But yeah, this weapon is really outstanding. This is probably for how easy it is to like get into, and like how easy it is to acquire the mods and stuff you would want to use on this thing, this is probably, barring weapons that are Absurdus and like in other slots like the Atamos, this is probably the best weapon at MR9. Like if you are at MR9, you absolutely need to build this. And part of that comes with you not needing to put Shell Shock into your build. And obviously you could get away very easily with a regular point blank. You don't need Shell Shock, and you can instead use the Fire dual stat, and then you wouldn't use Blaze for sure. You definitely would use Seeking Fury at that point. But because you can get away without using Shell Shock, which is like the hardest to get mod here, barring Point Blank, which is just a waiting game, so it's very dependent on when you see Borrow have it, how easy this is to get. This is a really easy weapon to build, and you should definitely build and have this thing. It's going to be really useful for a number of shotgun sorties for a lot of different Warframes. Like, for example, this would definitely be a shotgun sortie weapon for Nidus in any Warframe like Nidus that needs to strip a lot of armor would definitely appreciate this. Although on Nidus, you absolutely need to use Seeking Fury. There's no option at that point, just because of the way he works. Anyway, that's the Phantasma, except done right this time, because I'm back from PAX now, and we can do a bunch of videos on things. So, please be excited for that. Apologies for the first Phantasma video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the memes in that one, as that is, like, the value of that video at this point. Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. Apologies again for the initial Phantasma video, but I hope you enjoyed the other two Why Would You Uses that came out over the PAX weekend. Later, everyone.